Hey William, look at this. You're not going to believe what I found. If this girl is really her, I'm really curious where she's been all this time. And that guy she's with, I swear I recognize him from somewhere. Let's not arrest them right away. Let's follow them for a bit. What are they up to? Who is this guy and where have I seen him before? Get me that file. Let's see who we've interrogated. William, you follow them. Find out where they live, where they go, who they meet. Prepare a report. I'll handle this other case. William, if you see anything important, let me know right away. Chief, our investigations at the crime scene have revealed something unexpected. The evidence points to a scenario that is different from our initial assumptions. I'm continuing to work on this initial report. Yes, Chief, I sent William to another case. If you allow me, I can handle this myself. Of course, Chief. I'll put his report on your desk soon. He put the phone down on the desk, stretched and sighed. Oh, this is going to be the death of me. He also took the file with him. Lily, I'm going home. I'm exhausted. It's been a tough day. I deserve a good sleep. I hope you won't call me for a new case. Lily also went to the bar, where she usually drops by. As always, she wouldn't go home without drinking a few root beers and flirting with Lily. Halfway through her second beer, Lily came in and he ordered the same for her. You look very distracted, Lily said. The detective shook his head without speaking. After a long silence, Lily asked, do you think a woman could escape a sophisticated facial recognition system in London that has been supported by artificial intelligence for 4 years? How could she not be seen for so long? Lily, after finishing her first glass, signalled the bartender for a second one. After taking a big sip from the frothy beer, she said maybe she was sick, but then she would have shown up in hospital records. The detective said, as if talking to himself, maybe she has a mental illness, like those people who never go outside. But then why was she at the restaurant? We saw her today having dinner with a man. Honestly, I'm stuck on that guy. Lily, I should go and review that report. Excuse me for tonight, sweetie, he said, kissing her on the cheek, and went home. Ah, yes, that's the guy, the truck driver. I went to his house and questioned him. So either he lied to me, or Mandy might have come to this guy's house later, or something else. Now I was relieved. I could finally sleep peacefully. William, who entered the stuffy, small room at the police station, was very happy to see the coffee in William's hand. There's nothing like this coffee. Thanks, William. How's the follow-up going? He added. You know, I figured out who that guy next to her is, he said, briefly summarizing the file. Keep following. Let's get Mandy now. A few days later, William called to say that Mandy and the truck driver were at a nearby mall. Shall we take them? He asked. The detective said, it's time. Bring them in. Finally, Mandy was sitting across from the detective during the interrogation. You gave us a lot of trouble, Mandy. Where have you been all this time? He began his interrogation. Mandy, with a surprised expression, said, I never thought you could be so eager for a few broken watches and $100. It was the detective's turn to be surprised. Don't you know why we're looking for you? What else could it be? Or maybe it's that jacket I threw out the window. No, Mandy, we found out about those too, but don't worry. Luckily, no one complained. Tell us a little about your mother and father. What kind of people are they? She hadn't thought about her mother and father in a long time. She hadn't thought of them even once in all this time. She paused for a long time and asked for water. After finishing a glass, she suddenly said, my mother was a whore, an alcoholic, and my father was a rude, crude animal, and asked for another glass of water. After a long silence, the detective asked, do you know where your mother is? Mandy explained that her mother had abandoned them when she was young. She went into the details, saying that she had cried a lot, clung to her mother's leg, not wanting her to leave, and had cried for a long time afterwards. Suddenly, he asked, who was that man next to you? Mandy hesitated. She had never faced the reality of who that man was before. In fact, she was shocked and froze for a moment. She couldn't think of anything to say. Her thoughts froze. Her mind froze. She was stuck. The detective continued. We went to that man's house when we were looking for you. The man who gave you a lift. How do you know him? He added. Again, she didn't answer. All right, Mandy, let me tell you why we're trying to reach you. You should drink another glass of water because what you're going to hear will shock you. Mandy yelled, Mandy, tell me now what? After you last saw your mother, your father brought her back home and killed her. He buried her in the basement of your house. Did you know that? Mandy experienced another shock. She thought she was the only one who was so bad, but it turned out that everyone around her was evil. Nothing else came to her mind besides these thoughts. Her mother, her father, the truck driver, they all turned around one after the other. Did you catch my father? Where is he? I want to talk to him, she said, standing up. As she was about to leave the room, he said, unfortunately, your father died. That's why you're the only person who can shed light on this matter. What we've told you is based on our findings. If you remember anything, please share it with us. No, I don't remember anything. So when and how did my father die? Mandy added. After you left town, one day your father had too much to drink at a bar and was found dead at home. Doctors said he had a heart attack, the detective said. She felt completely alone and deceived. She was filled with rage, especially towards the truck driver. What had he done to her? Now it was dawning on her. She had been used, kidnapped, and abused. She was most angry with the truck driver. The detective left the room to leave her alone. She was so angry she could have sat there like that for hours. When the detective came back, he had a bandage in his hand. "What's that for?" Mandy asked. "I realized that what I told you would be difficult for you. Look at your hand. You've scratched your skin with your nails. Let me help you. You might get an infection." Mandy had completely surrendered herself to the detective. For the first time, someone was genuinely concerned for her, tending to her wound. In that moment, she broke down. She was shaking uncontrollably, reliving the horror of the basement with each tremor. As the forgotten memories resurfaced one by one, she trembled as if she were experiencing them again. The detective held her tightly and whispered, "Cry, Mandy, cry. Let it all out, my dear." After a few minutes, Mandy recounted her experiences with the truck driver in detail, leaving nothing out. The detectives were not expecting such a detailed account. They immediately arrested the truck driver and sent several police officers to his house to investigate. Yes, Mandy's story was consistent and corroborated by the neighbor's statement. The detective was furious with himself for not finding Mandy immediately and for believing everything the truck driver had said. To be continued. I hope you enjoyed my story. How do you think it will continue? I look forward to your guesses in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe and like.